Finally, I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's also kind of my first Final Fantasy game. Welcome to Finally I Played, a quote-unquote review series where I talk about games I've finished. The reason why it's called Finally I Played is because over a good decade I've been buying single-player games without playing or even finishing them. The way I'll review Final Fantasy VII Remake will be split up in 3 sections: gameplay, story, and extras. But before reviewing it, let me talk about why it's kind of my first Final Fantasy game. We need to go back to 2016 December. Back in 2016, I saw the trailer for Final Fantasy XV and fell in love with the characters, especially Noctis. And in gameplay, the gameplay reminded me of another game that I was actually waiting on to hear anything about: Kingdom Hearts 3. So when I found out that a legend, the madman himself, Tetsuya Nomura, was the director of Final Fantasy XV, it was just fate kind of lining up at that moment. So I wished for a PS4 with Final Fantasy XV and eventually got it for Christmas Eve 2016. I started playing immediately for a week or so, but then I dropped it after the first dungeon section and went back to League of Legends. Oh, kill me. When the game was announced to come to PC, I bought it on PC too, but got the same spot as my PC save, so yeah, I didn't progress a lot in this game. Anyways, this year, Final Fantasy VII Remake was on sale, and I bought it and told myself I'd play it at some point in this year, which happened this month, so let's finally talk about the game. I really love the gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Since I'm not usually the biggest fan of traditional turn-based combat, I'm glad they got this new combat system that's quite refreshing but kinda reminds me of something. Yup, same guy who made Kingdom Hearts series also made Final Fantasy VII, which actually really surprised me since I barely know anything about the Final Fantasy VII series, or just Final Fantasy in general actually, and just game directors in general as well. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, so that one was really surprising, but I could kinda see it. Sad that he won't be directing part 2 of Final Fantasy VII Remake though. But yeah, this game really just borrows the best combat part of Kingdom Hearts, which is spamming the same button over and over again, which I love. The only thing missing is the action button on the triangle from Kingdom Hearts, but that's okay since the menu in Final Fantasy VII Remake is so close to being the same as Kingdom Hearts menu, responsive wise. It really makes me appreciate the work of Nomura, cause the fast response on the menu just really adds the cherry on the top. One thing that I have to say that I liked a lot in Final Fantasy VII Remake was the fact that you could play as your party members. Like damn, that really made me happy, even though in the beginning I was just playing as Cloud a lot and used my party members for their abilities or to heal me. Midway through the game I started to love playing as Tifa and Barret as well, and I started to use them a lot depending on the situation. Cloud? About to die? I'ma use Barret to charge my ATB real quick and heal myself. Also, Barret's abilities are so satisfying, it's insane. Oh yeah, the triangle is used for character special abilities I guess. I actually never got the name of that thing, like Cloud changing stance between operator mode and punish mode, Tifa with a special attack that changes depending on how many times you used one of her abilities, and Barret, he just fucking goes ham and pew 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 pew! So, as this is my first Final Fantasy start, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. Pain. No, but seriously, this story really got me hooked. It was really good. I really love how mysterious this new world is in the beginning, and that you get to know what's going on very subtly throughout the entire game. It's giving answers but also giving new questions to you as the player. What is a soldier, and why did Cloud become one, and why is he not one anymore? Like, what made him change his mind suddenly? Even at this point, I can only answer 2 of them, and one of them is not even a detailed answer. The way I also picked up the answers throughout the game was kind of through the NPCs in the world that you walk by, since a lot of them had dialogue that kind of shows the mindset of the people in the world and shows another perspective compared to what you hear from the characters in your party. The characters in this game are also really well written. I just kinda wish they got more screen time, since I feel like Cloud is taking so much of it. But I cannot really complain that much, since there's a large portion of the story missing. But I still wish they would give more screen time and showed more of the character's backstory, just like how we kinda got to know that Jessie was an actor before becoming a part of the Avalanche. That was really interesting to me, and that section of the story was awesome. Wish they would have went in depth with Barret's story as well, with his daughter and his arm. I just find it funny that Jessie, who is not even a playable character whatsoever, got more backstory told so far than Barret. But in that defense, it also kinda makes sense as to why we're not getting much told by the other characters, since Cloud is not really asking that much into it because of his character. So we'll have to learn about the other characters when Cloud does, just like we did with Jessie. So I really hope you see more flashbacks of Tifa Cloud, cause I do not know a lot about her or barely anything. Oh my god! In this extra section, I want to talk about music and bosses. How the hell is this music so good? The music in this game is really diverse and just really works well with all the different environments you are in and the battles you fight. All the boss music really just made me feel like every boss was some really strong and tough opponent, and that I had to pay extra attention compared to when fighting normal monsters, which I did have to. and I really liked that you could collect the music in the game, and the way you had to collect them was really good too. It was quite fun just walking around and then noticing a new song in the background and trying to track down where it's from and who to talk with. And also listening to what the NPC with the music had to say was really interesting to me. Really just immersed me more into this world. But one thing about the music which confused me was the quote-unquote main theme of the game. I heard it like once in the game and I didn't even know it was the main theme until I read that it was in the top corner, and I was so confused. Especially since I thought that the main theme was So in conclusion, I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake, even though I just found out after finishing the script that the story is altered and seems not to follow the original story 100%, but that's alright. I don't really mind having to play the original to get the original story. I'll just enjoy the remake for what it is, but I don't know if I can use my experience from the Final Fantasy VII Remake and move on to another Final Fantasy games, except for maybe Final Fantasy XV seems to have familiar gameplay. So what's the next game? Well, you can find that out in this video that I made some months ago, I think last month actually, where I talk about the games I'm going to play this year, or maybe check... Wait, it's actually from this month, never mind. And maybe check out my other videos, like the first episode of my playthrough series of the new game, Road 96. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you like my content, and hit the notification bell button to get notified, and comment something, cause you're awesome. It's been StarKid, and I'm out.